Well, it's time for my favorite part, interactive.
So
Mystery.
he can harass me, by the way.
I am not going to harass you tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic.
You look good.
Thank you.
That's not harassment.
No, it's not.
And
it's,
I like
it's
the
complimentary.
color. I like the color.
It brings out the color in my eye, right?
Yeah.
I love your tie.
And your green shoe black combination.
Are you in Jamaica now?
Do you know what I mean?
I know, right?
What's up?
Lots of things are up, but I heard something today and I was bemused because a Danish gentleman apparently was denied access to an Amtrak Air and he brought it out for us to hear it. But my twist would have been that if it were a normal Kodaki like yourself and I, would the person even report it in the first place for us to hear it and then talk about it? How many times has it gone unnoticed that we haven't even heard about it?
Well, I have some disabled friends who would have made noise up their lungs anyway.
Exactly.
So,
that's what is trending on social media, and that's what we're talking about on today's show.
Let's hear that.
So, like I was telling Steve, a Danish man with a physical disability has been denied boarding an Amtrak flight to Tamale because the local airline said they do not have the facility to carry him on board. As a result, Neil Basta Norsk is currently on his way to Tamale on a bus and is unhappy the airline discriminated against him. Network permitting, he will talk to us live on this show. And the Ghana Federation of the Disabled People are in a meeting with Amtrak Air. We shall get an update on the outcome of that meeting also. And of course, you also get to send in your views. It is your show after all. My name as always is Marian Toure and this is GN Interactive.
Joy News Interactive is brought to you in association with
Surfline, it's about time.
GN Interactive is proudly supported by Surfline. Surfline, about time. So let me announce all the social media tools that you need to get in touch with this show, because this is your show after all. You can join us on facebook.com/joynews-on-TV. Like the page first, like I always say, and then you can comment on all the posts we put there, and then we will share what you're sharing with the rest of the world. We are on Twitter. We tweet at Joy News on TV and at GN Interactive GH. You can send us your emails. joynewsim at multitvworld.com. Our WhatsApp number remains 0540 109 009. I am on social media as well at MNToure on Twitter and Instagram, and facebook.com/MarianToure official on Facebook. GN Interactive, as always, is where tech meets news to set the agenda. So people with disability face serious discrimination. Many laws, including our Constitution, preach non-discrimination and equality. But truthfully, people with disability face many forms of discrimination. And how many of our buildings are actually disability friendly? Do we have transportation designed for persons with disability? We seem to forget them sometimes. And the Persons with Disability Act 2006, Clause 23, demands that the ministries responsible for transport and local government ministry shall ensure that the needs of persons with disability are taken into account in the design, the construction, and operation of transportation network. But we are not adhering to this constitution. You see, Ghana as a nation is so quick to ratify international laws and conventions, and yet, reinforcement is actually a challenge, and reinforcement is our problem. It's not about the ratification, but reinforce what you ratify. So a Danish man faced serious discrimination when Amtrak Air refused to fly him because they said they did not have assistant devices. We will put him on the phone now, and I'm hoping that Neil is actually on the line so that he can actually help. Hello, Neil.
Hello.
Good evening and welcome to GN Interactive.
Sorry, I can't hear you though.
I know, like a network technical challenges, but try as much as possible to squint a bit and hear us. How are you doing?
Well, I'm in the bus. I've been here for almost 12 hours now. So as you know, I'm a disabled person, so I'm not able to move in and out of the bus, so it's getting a bit...
But then I want you to share what happened to you at the airport when you were getting ready to board
I'll
Antwerp
tell
Air?
you. Well, we had booked tickets for going from Accra to Tamale, me and a colleague, and we showed up in the airport at 5:30, 5:15 yesterday morning to go to the check-in queue.
Right.
And while standing there, we were told that they were not able to take me on board because I was not able to walk.
Right.
And I've done this trip quite a number of times.
Okay.
So I was very surprised. But apparently it's a new policy that they don't bring disabled people on board the local planes.
Right.
And after some discussion, we found out there was no option.
Okay.
And there were no other airlines. This was Amtrak. We tried the other airlines also. And none of them would take a person who was not able to walk on board.
Right. But I want to... Yes. Neil.
Yeah.
Yes, I really want to find out that having traveled with them in the past, did they actually know your condition prior to telling you that we cannot have you on board? Whilst they were issuing the ticket, couldn't they have told you something?
Sorry, I have to have it a little louder because there's a lot of people on the bus at the moment.
At the time of purchasing your ticket, were you there to purchase it or someone got you the ticket?
Sorry again. I'm afraid there's a little much noise on the line now.
Right, the phone line is a bit grainy. But then I'd like to ask your bus journey so far. How is it going?
Well, at the moment, well, it's of course a bit tiresome to be on the bus, and I'm not able to get in and out as other people. It's a problem with toilet visits and getting something to eat and things like that. But I have to go through it. I have some obligations of notes, and I have to live up to that.
Right. Thank you very much, Neil, for sharing your experience with us here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And for those of you who are actually watching the screens, I have here on my iPad Neil, and so at least you could have seen Neil's face projected to you on the screen. He is the man that we're actually talking to, a Danish national here in Ghana, who was actually traveling from Accra to Tamale and was actually refused access to the plane because it was impossible to get him on board. And joining us also on the phone line is Isaac Tugun. I think he's with the Ghana Federation of the Disabled Persons. Good evening and welcome to JN Interactive.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I understand you were in a meeting with Antwerp Air concerning the discrimination case against, Neil. What transpired in the meeting?
Actually, we had the information yesterday in the evening that our Danish colleagues were refused entering into the aircraft to go to Tamale. And it was a bit late. That today we decided that we'll follow up to know exactly what happened.
Okay.
Not only to Antwerp, but to African Well and Starboat to find out whether similar things were happening there.
Okay.
So we had a meeting with Antwerp this afternoon, and what they were telling us and what they produced some document that's from the ITAC or International Air Regulatory Body. They photocopied portion of those documents for me, and they are saying that in the past, they used to carry a person with disability physically into the aircraft.
Okay.
But the new regulation that have come have prohibited that because some person with disability have complained that they were not properly carried.
Okay.
And as a result of that, they have developed more problems in addition to their disabilities. So now, I wanted to find out whether they do not have any assistive device to assist person with disability to enter the aircraft, because I know that the bigger aircraft have those things, ambulance service that will lift the person up and bring the person down.
Right.
And they said the kind of aircraft that they are using now is so small and so narrow. even the entrance, the door cell is very small, the entry is very narrow, and anytime if they use the ambulance, there will still be a gap between them, between the aircraft and the ambulance.
Right.
So because of that, this aircraft in particular, the aircraft they are using, it is a specified aircraft, a specific aircraft.
Okay.
And the International Traffic Regulation Body has said that such an aircraft cannot carry a person with disability who cannot move at all.
Right.
Based on the distance, it will be on the wheelchair. And then yesterday, when he came, they explained, they realized that that was the case. And they try as much as possible to contact the other airline to see whether they have any facility that could help carry him.
Okay.
But the other facilities said, airlines said no, they do not also have.
When did this regulation come into force?
I do not. I have the document now, but I have like I do not have electricity.
Electricity.
So
okay.
I would have looked at the date, tell you. But now what happened is they said that has been the regulation, and I wanted to find out from them because we have the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, Article 9. We talk about access on equal basis to transport.
Right.
And we also have the Person with Disability Act, which states that there should be access to all public services and other things. Now, that they are saying that, yes, that is true. But looking at the specification of the aircraft, which are operating all over all over the world, these particular aircraft do not carry persons with disability on wheelchair who cannot move at all. And they produce documents to show that. And they even said the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority and then the Ministry of Transport is aware of this, and they have approved. They have approved the operation of these aircraft. And I said, okay, we have these laws existing. Why do you go to bring aircraft that will violate the provision of these laws?
Okay, I'm sure that discussion we can leave it for another time. Isaac Togun, Ghana Federation of the Disabled, thank you so much. It's time to hear your reaction about the issue. We will take our first video blog.
Obviously, it wasn't right, but you can't also blame the airline because they did not have the means to convey him. Maybe this is a call for improvement. They should find ways and means to get physically challenged on board, just like we did with our buildings, because formerly when we put up structures, we don't make access for physically challenged to get onto the building. But because of experiences, now there has been this innovation that every building should have the access for physically challenged. So maybe the local flights should also find a way to put physically challenged on board.
I feel it wasn't right because for institutions like that, they need to make or avail facilities like that to support disabled people. So if it's not in place for them, means they are lacking in a way. So I feel in this position, I feel he was denied certain privileges he should have gotten, which is wrong. So it wasn't fair on their part to the disabled guy.
They had their reasons because the facilities that they didn't have to accommodate him. Maybe the washroom in the plane could not accommodate him because of how physically challenged he was. That's why maybe they said he shouldn't come on board. Because if he had come on board, they felt pity for him and made him come on board. What if then that time happened and they were in the middle of the air and he really had to use the washroom? There was nothing they could do about it. Then he would be the one in trouble, not them. So that's why they had to say so that he would find another way of traveling.
The father is physically challenged, doesn't make him this thing less human than any of us. So he's right. And if I were his family, I would have made a lot of noise. We don't have to treat them like that. Amtrak, you knew from day one that some of us may have some physical challenges. They should lift up their game. Amtrak, that's what I have to say.
I think he's also a human being, and he has every right to board the international plane or whatever. He has the right to board every airline, so long as he has the particulars to do so.
Welcome back. You're still watching GN Interactive with me, Marian Toure. And we'll go out there again and then see what you have been telling us about this. We've been asking what you would do if it were you or any member of your family was involved in such a situation. Let's take our next video blog.
If I were in his shoes, I will go great lengths to make sure that that anomaly is rectified for the good of the physically challenged folks.
I don't think they should discriminate just because he's a physically challenged. Yeah, so I think that was unfair. They should have found a better way of doing that instead of, denying him the flight.
Well, they need to work at it because there will be much more of infringement of someone's rights because they also need to travel, move from one place to another. So it's a necessity for them. So they need to make provisions for. Right, it's a necessity.
If I were the one, I would try and understand them that maybe they didn't want me to be in any state of emergency and then not feel bad for even being physically challenged.
Within myself, I will not feel all the time. I will not feel comfortable when I see normal human beings walking. Because I'm also a normal human being, but how they have been classifying, they will be classifying them, or assuming I'm one of them. How they will be classifying us is because of that.
First, I feel sad because it will remind you that you are really disabled. So you will be sad and disappointed. You just go for your refund. What more can you do? Since they are not getting you on board, go for a refund. Well, I'm sure that with the international airlines, they have means of transporting the sick and the disabled. So the local airlines should also have means of transporting the disabled.
Welcome back and thank you for sticking and staying with us. So many of your comments have come through. I'm trying to see if we can do some of your Facebook comments first and then I'll check on WhatsApp as well. The precursor has already been set. And Eunice Jan starts with us today and you say, attract to they do discrimination. This is your pigeon there. You know the work you give me cry. I'll try and make it longer, a fuller sentence next time. Roland Owusu says if it's a requirement that the airline should make these things available and it's not, then he should sue them. Ooh, that's drastic. Ishmael says this is not discrimination. They were much concerned about his plight. You think they were? Okay, well. Better not infringe more harm on him. I'm sure that's what you're thinking. Foster says, Ghana Dato, Paul Lawrence Benjamin, it's quite unfortunate. That really means they don't have the capacity to operate. In any way, they have been frank with the situation. In an event of evacuation, what would happen to them if he cannot run? The airlines should know better. Evan says, Ghana, GH, I don't know what you want to say there. Foster Kobe says disgraceful. Juventus says pure discrimination. Techi Ajay Bright, oh, that is too bad. Roland, your boy, fine boy. Hello, brother, how are you? It's been a really long time. And you say, I know that it's bad, but although the truth is better, but Antrak Air still told it. So I think it's better late than never. And you know what we do here. Lord Cortez Corner has a lot of trending issues on Twitter for you. Let's go to him and get what's trending.
It's now clear that Ghana's parliament chairs are made in China. This move has been widely criticized by the public. Let's go out to Twitter and check out what people are saying. There's a tweet from Joseph Krause. Citizens in Ghana cry foul as politicians spend $6.8 million on furniture to refurbish parliament. Okay, this is a post from DJ Black and it reads, what's the current hottest brand in Ghana in your opinion? Well, on this were some of the comments people put out there. Made in China goods, check the parliament chairs. Well, that was from Miliki Miku. And Harrison Babu also responded by saying, no doubt. Ebenezer also responded straight up. This is a tweet from JFM. Vote out MPs responsible for importing Parliament's Chinese shares. And this was a statement made by former National Security Advisor, Brigadier General Nunu Mensah. Kingsley Hayford has counseled the leadership of Parliament to admit its erred by importing furniture from China. And this is a story on CTFM Online, and it was posted by Aidan Osam. Well, another one from CTFM, China shares MP's action unforgivable. Again, a statement from Brigadier General Nunu Mensah. Well, I'll leave you to take it all in. But don't forget, you should still patronize Made in Ghana products. My name is Lord Kote, and this has been What's Trending.
And we have a fantastic picture of the day for you. I'm sure you can read it yourself, so I won't say much. It just says that some disgruntled MPP youths run away to NDC youths want to run away to MPP. Woohoo! And if you're interested, you should call those numbers. I don't know what you think about that, but I'll keep my opinion to myself on this one. Steve.
All political party members are invited to cross.
It's
crossover now.
Is it a New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve service. So if you want to cross over,
are invited to cross over.
So
now.
we can put a stick there and then jump over it, and we are crossing over. And the other one, in trust with God. Hey, Yehovah. Ghana. Oh, I mean, but you won't get this anywhere. This is only in GH.
Do you know that straight up in my mind, the first thing that occurred to me was to read it as it should be. In God
I know,
trust.
it just goes to say that, yes, when you know something, doesn't matter how it is written, you will go to
in God with trust, move on. But then upon close inspection, you see that in trust with God.
Okay.
Hey.
Wow.
In trust with God. I wanted to say something.
Yeah, you keep it. I don't want it to be a treasonable offense.
Right, so that has been an interesting interactive segment.
It sure has been.
Marian Turi.
Never a dull moment with him.
And my name is Stephen Auntie. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And my name is Marian Turi. Have a fabulous evening. Do enjoy the rest of our programs, and we'll see you again soon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Joy News Interactive was brought to you in association with
Surfline. It's about time.